Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, I want to share a conversation that I was having with a friend yesterday. And find it interesting. He was sharing with me how he got this new job in the crypto space. And so, you know, how he got the job, I'm explaining in a few minutes. So when you start talking about traditionally what we've been taught and how we're supposed to move, um, I was taught, you need to go to school, get real good grades, get the best grades you can, go to college, get the highest paying job that you can get, and after a certain time frame, you retire and everything's okie dokie. Well, that might have worked for a particular generation where companies were taking care of their employees. They had pensions. Is anybody offering pensions anymore? When companies was offering pensions, they were taking care of their employees. But so through what I was taught anyway, it was all about getting these certificates or certifications. And what I started to find out though, as I got out here in the workforce, really in the last decade, 15 years, what's more important than a certification or a certificate is competency. That's what all employers want is competency. They understand that if you get a, certification or a certificate, be it diploma, degree, whatever else, you know, they understand the game. And the game was you study for the test. You studied to pass the test, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're competent in whatever you have the certification or certificate in. That's why whenever you take a job or during a job interview, you're asked about experience. They want to hear about real world situations where you've been able to apply and be successful at whatever it is that you're going after. And that kind of brings me to the next day. kind of, we're taught that we have to go out here and apply for jobs and do all this sort of stuff. Yeah, you do when you don't know anybody, when you don't have the right relationships, um, when you don't understand the importance of relationship. And, I was sharing with my 15-year-old son just last weekend. He was trying to find a job this summer. He really wanted to work. He does have a side hustle where he bakes cookies and sells them, but school's out. He wants a job. He wants more money. So he's putting in applications. 15's kind of a hard age to get in somewhere. And so, I reached out to a business owner that I know and I said, hey, what's the youngest employee that you would deal with? And they stated it. And so it was like, yeah, I'll let your 15-year-old do some work. So we decided, I decided to work side by side with him and do some gigs. So, the first weekend we worked two different events. Um, this past weekend we worked one, and I was telling my son, he was like, hey, you got this job because of relationship. As a matter of fact, you getting paid more per hour on this particular job than an older sibling is making um, currently in their job. And I said to him, this is why it's important to build relationships. This is why it's important. It's not just about who you know, it's not just about what you know or who you know. it's also who knows you. Because if you have a reputation or slash a brand that you're not a real serious person, nobody's going to deal with you. But because, this business owner that I know, some of my older children, well, back up, I worked for them at one point several years ago, pre pandemic, to make, some extra money, not be tied down to a traditional job. And a couple of my older kids also worked, and they did very well, you know. They were asked for by name after working, several times, whatever else. That, again, because of my reputation and my brand, a door was open for my son, and he didn't have to apply to this job. And there's jobs out there you don't have to apply for if you know the right people and if you had the proper reputation. So, getting back to my original conversation and having this friend, he's doing this, he got his first job in the crypto space. Now, he has no certification. He and I met in, shout out to Blockchain Brown, his mastermind, crypto mastermind group, crypto nomad mastermind group. And, you know, he taught us some stuff. And this brother, I think he said he'll be 47, 48 years old, has really done self study. It's all about education, but it's not necessarily about school, folks. You got to get out here and get an education. You got to get out here and you got to learn. But it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go to a traditional school and go into debt or pay a lot of money. So, he's been doing this thing for 2 years studying. He happened to get on Upward. He did some contract work for this company. They contracted him to do something. He was able to do exactly what they needed done. And they offered him a full time job. He didn't fill out no application, you know, all based upon what he accomplished, all based upon his competency. His competency was tested and he passed the test. So remember, it's not about, people can be into certifications and degrees and certain other things, but guess what? What's more important than that is competency. So please like, share, comment on this. There's just been so many other situations I've come across over the years um, that just proves that, you know. Um, again, have a blessed, prosperous, and wonderful day. Peace.